Overall Setting Podcast. Overall Setting Podcast. Overall Settings. You know you are the leader now. You're taking over with speed now. Overall Settings. Yes, you're on the go. Everybody want to watch your show. You're watching Overall Settings Podcast. Boom, Overall Settings.
I'm feeling this aura. Yeah, that's the deal in this
life and overall setting.
I get a vice and to the world, ambassador to the universe, and we are represent overall setting.
Splash the artist, singer splash. Yeah man, overall set.
Your big respects to original Dan Raja, Apache Indian in the place. Catch me on Overall Setting.
This is Shinehead. I found out. So here what? As pertain to the overall setting.
And for the main device, you know say a Protestant from where you know that don't straight out. I'm watching the papers and represent the overall setting.
Hey yo, check this out. This is Anthony Cruz live and direct, and I'm here to tell you about the Don't Know overall setting scene.
This is Silver Cat, aka Iron Claw. And I will be on the overall podcast setting.
From see the face and hear the voice, them know say Rasta British, the true leader. I'll be featured live on overall settings podcast.
Bonjour tout le monde. You know it's me, your girl Joe, now representing with the Overall Settings Podcast Show.
Hey, them for no fearless wonder. I'm here represent the overall setting. Let's go live on overall setting.
This is J Warren, and you can check me out live on overall podcast.
No gonna make them night. What put me the Salaman and Tigana overall? Milan.
You coming some indeed. Bad boy, a fire everything. Holy man, a fire AK-47, but soldier man. Them a fire is the love.
I wish I could hear your voice again. I think of you every now and then. Oh yeah, I'd give anything to make amends. Arms are open, so let me in. I wanna be where you are. I gotta be where you are. From two different worlds, yeah, we collide, but we're stronger than ever. Side by side, no matter the distance, we'll survive tonight. Oh yeah. Do you remember holding me close in the winter? Do you remember all future plans made together? Do you remember our vows are made for the better? I'll always remember when we said forever. I wish I could fix what is broken again. Words left unspoken till we meet again. From two different worlds, yeah, we collide, but we're stronger than ever. Side by side, no matter the distance, we'll survive tonight. Oh yeah. Do you remember holding me close in the winter? Do you remember all future plans made together? Do you remember our vows are made for the better? I'll always remember when we said forever. Do you remember? Do you remember? Do you remember? You know I believe in you, dreaming of life with you. I wanna stay stuck in replay. Yeah. future plans made together. Do you remember? Our vows were made for the better. Always remember when we said forever. Do you remember? Do you remember? Always remember when we said forever.
Baby, I know I messed up with you, but baby, I wanna be with you. I know I made some mistakes here before. I will do right by you, baby, for sure.
When you say that you're sorry, do you mean it or what? Is it temporary love? Oh yeah. Say you wanna chill, say you wanna chill. Gotta keep it real. Tell me what's the deal this time, yeah. So you got me confused, you don't wanna choose. I want you bad. United feel, united feel, united feel, united feel. All that you wanted, united feel. I'm what you needed, united feel. But don't take me for granted, 'cause I'm leaving. United feel. Ooh. Talk to me, yeah. No more excuses, boy. Save all your lies. You know they're useless. Say you wanna chill, say you wanna chill. Gotta keep it real, keep it. Tell me what's the deal this time. Yes, you got me confused, you don't wanna choose. I want you back, yeah. United feel, united feel, united feel, united feel. All that you wanted, I'm what you needed, united. But don't take me for granted, 'cause I'm leaving. United feel. I don't wanna lose ya. I feel like I need ya, but don't really want ya. Being with you, I don't really want ya. I feel like I need ya, but don't really want ya. Yeah. United feel, united feel, united feel, united feel. All that you wanted, I'm what you needed, united. But don't take me for granted, 'cause I'm leaving. United feel, all that you wanted, I'm what you needed. But don't take me for granted, 'cause I'm leaving.
I got hot sauce in my bags.
Spicy little mama, I stay way up. If you owe me money, I'm like pay up. Never know just what I'm gonna sell. Serving all this trip, I'm like a waiter. Not too many like me, original.
I got hot sauce in my bags.
Spicy little mama, I stay way up. If you owe me money, I'm like pay up. Never know just what I'm gonna sell. Serving all this trip, I'm like a waiter. Not too many like me, original, don't fight me. Say what I want and never from, make a hater won't come fight. anything you see me, bye-bye. Don't got your shit together, I'm like, bye-bye. It's a confidence, it's in me that you can buy. So I just keep on going, yeah, there's no love. Not too many like me, original, don't bite me. Say what I want and never from, make a hater won't come fight me. Not too many like me, number one, no copy. Do what I want, a fire that you can't put out inside me. Everywhere I go, hot sauce in my bag, hot sauce in my hot sauce in my hot sauce in my bag. Everywhere I go, hot sauce in my bag, hot sauce in my bag, hot sauce in my hot sauce in my hot sauce in my bag. Hot sauce in my bag, hot sauce in my hot sauce in my hot sauce in my bag. Everywhere I go. Catch these sketches. Ha ha. Catch. Hey. Roll your waist. 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 You might have to catch this one. 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 I know that you watching me dancing. I see that you like how I'm dancing. Yeah, I know that you watching me dancing. Go. I see that you like how I'm dancing. I see that you like how I'm dancing. I wanna know like I do. Give me the answer. I want you to feel like my butt. Question. I love it how you big it up. I love it how you big it up. So give me your love. Give me your love. I think it's time for one. 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 Place your hands up on your waist and go low and go low. Place your hands up on your knees and go down and go down. Roll your waist, 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 roll your waist. You might have to catch this one. 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 Catch that. Yeah. Come true. Show me the style where you have done boring. How where you learn the moves. Ask for my name and I told you lonely. Now we in a mood. You know I can pick and choose. Only man I want wine is you. Watch how we bump and grinding. Ooh, sweat the whole heart. So this no regular. I bet you won't forget me when we leave out at a party. Gago, that's why me like it in my shirt. Hold me tight like a lago. No, I don't nice like yesterday. You might have to catch this one. 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 I think it's time for 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 one. Yeah, you might have to catch this one. 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 You might have to catch this one.
Oh, daddy, hot daddy,
Yeah, tell you.
brother.
Hold on.
Where
Yeah.
you say? Where you say? Where
Fire.
you say? Where you say?
Fire.
Where you say?
Fire.
Me never know say wine and fling. wine and fling, God. She say you might have to catch this wine. So that means say I dash it literally, I dash it by your brother.
Dash it to
Dash it. Yo, you know from yo, brother. Listen me. is one thing where intimidate me. You know what I mean when it come to woman, car. But like to feel like say I'm sure of myself, but you see a strong-minded, business-minded, like independent woman, somebody
I
where
tell you.
all right, come remember, this young lady who we are about to bring on the platform now, as she's a radio co-host. So we're like novices. Like we
yeah.
just we learn as we go. So
Uh-huh.
we got somebody that's gonna like see the weakness in our armor because you know what I mean. Like she basically like this is what she
Yeah.
does for real.
But you have to see what we do because
Yeah.
we knew.
Yeah.
We knew. So you have to see what we do.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So she knows the business. You know what I'm saying? We're also record label owners, you know what I mean, novices, you know what I mean? We put out a couple songs and we did well. She's a record label owner as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Bro, and then I mean our music speaks for itself.
And it not stop there, so.
Yeah, our music speaks for itself. So
don't stop there.
Yeah, I mean she's like this triple threat. And we happen to have her with us here tonight. And what we like to tell all of our guests, what we like to tell all of our fans, you could be anywhere in the world. I'm going to look straight in the camera when I say this. You could be anywhere in the world with anybody doing anything that you choose. But when you give us even a minute or a second of your time, we appreciate you for that. You know what I mean? And this young lady, she actually has another interview scheduled right after this one. So, you know what I mean? We're not even going to hold her any longer.
Now waste no time.
Yeah, man. So,
I want for everyone.
Yeah, man. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, you might have to catch this wine. So, without further ado, a very warm overall settings welcome to this bad triple threat, this lady with the golden voice, this record label exec, this radio co-host, and whatever else she got going on right now.
Actress.
Yeah, man. Come here, I hear some little thing about Broadway and you know what I mean. So anyway, without further ado, a very warm overall settings welcome to Sayonne. Yeah, man. Welcome.
Hello. Hello to the overall settings family. Hi everybody tuning in. That was a wonderful introduction. I was here dancing. I was dancing to all the videos and then the whole intro with you guys talking. I was like, yes.
we aim to please. You know what I'm saying? So, we hope, you know what I mean? Like I said, we expect you to like dissect, everything down to molecules with you being the perfectionist that you are.
I don't think we're gonna have to do much talking.
You guys can do the show how you do, Everybody has different styles, and I'm loving the energy so far. I love it.
Yeah, man, we love that, and we want to say, before we get right down into it, I want to say big respect to John Kitchen, you know what I mean, who has brought us the host of talent, you know what I mean, and then once again, he did not miss, with sending you over here, and we appreciate of John for what he's done, since we formed this alliance amongst ourselves, and we appreciate you, you know what I mean. Later for John, this is about.
No, I listen. I gotta give a big shout out to John because he really has been holding down the team Sayonne, the Soul Kitchen Radio Camp, the entire Soul Kitchen Camp. I thank you all, Team Sayonne, 5 Bar Records, Clinton, Courtney, everybody. It's a whole team effort. You guys for having me on your platforms, your listeners, your viewers. I thank you all for tuning in tonight and having me and sharing my work, supporting my artistry. I really appreciate that.
Well, it's our pleasure. So let's I mean, because like I said, I'm an artist. Me and you, busted up off the air a little bit today, and I kind of told you about my journey. You know what I'm saying? And when I get to talking, like I'm the type that doesn't stop. So you know what I mean? So I mean, I might have if I was ODing it, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But I just like it's like when you get in touch with your spirit and you start to identify your purpose, it's a feeling like no other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like us artists, we're bestowed with this duty to, bring people together and reach people through music, and and then once you become in touch with that gift that you're given, what I mean, it's like, wow. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's my experience. So, just tell us a little about yours, like, because I know you didn't, like, I mean, maybe you did come out of your mom singing, you know what I mean, but like, I, I,
Yeah. Well, that you know what? I'm gonna take that line for you because I never used that one, but most likely, I probably did come out singing. I mean, I'm a singer. I must have come out singing. I couldn't have been screaming, but so yeah. But it's pretty much like that. I found my passion of singing and music and writing at a really really early age. Especially with writing poetry and things like that. I would say elementary school, primary school. It was my way of expression. It was my way of release. Like, instead, you know how people get into confrontations, they get into fights and arguments. I was the quiet child, but listen, that notebook, that journal, I was letting it rip. I was letting it rip all my feelings, everything. Or even when I sang, it kind of gave me a confidence that I'd never had for speaking out. So singing has always been a passion, like you said. I came out the womb singing. I have family members who sing. My grandfather on my father's side from Trinidad, he was a great musician in Trinidad, and just wanted to be closer to him. I never got to meet him. Just wanting to develop that kind of connection. He played instruments, so I pick up instruments as well, and honed on my skills. So things like that.
right. So, I mean, like I said, so, basically elementary school, you started to develop a passion for words and putting words together, and then, ultimately, singing. And so was there any like early, like, choir exposure, like within school or church or anything of that nature? Or
Of course. Well, you already know. You're a music man yourself, so you know that we always start somewhere. We have a foundation. So I mentioned my grandfather. My father also was a musician at a time, and I grew up singing in the church.
Okay.
I grew up singing in school. I did after school choirs and things like that, and I really did background vocals for people, things like that to strengthen my singing ability, strengthen my grasp of learning different genres of music. Because sometimes people just sing one genre of music and they think that that's it. But in order to really really strengthen your musicality, you have to go into other areas of music, whether it's classical, whether it's jazz, whether it's reggae, whether it's pop, R&B, soul. You have to kind of go out of your comfort zone so you can better learn how to control and strengthen your gift, your tool.
Well, I notice a lot of I mean, Sharp man, you want to say something? Because let me tell them, I can't.
Yeah, man.
Me can't chat already. Me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I wanted to ask you. You said it started as an early age, doing poetry. How old were you when you actually put your first song together? Because you also write your own music.
Yes, when I put my first official song together. Okay, so I'll say this. I put my first official song together when I was about 10, but it was just me singing and writing. My first official recording song was at the age of 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
12 years old.
So hold on. You actually made it into a studio.
Sure did. Recorded a whole album.
Album at 12?
A whole album, yes. It took me a couple years. It took me, because I was young in school and things like that. So it took me, the album was released when I was about 14, 15. Yeah.
So hold on. hold on. You know what? We're gonna end this live right now. See you later. It was nice meeting you. You know what I mean? Whatever. And she's like modest about it. Oh yeah, I did years. I was about 14, maybe 15. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Amazing.
This is serious, yeah. It's I have great parents that supported me. They saw that I had the passion at a very early age, and some parents would stray their kids away from passions within the entertainment industry, but my parents thankfully said, you know what, we're going to back you 100%, and they just allowed me to be me and dream and write and sing and do all these creative things. They gave me my creative space, so that's why I was able to do that.
9 years old. What was that first song? I want to hear about that song. What was it about?
The first song.
The one at 9 years old?
Yes.
9, 10 years old? Okay. Well, it's the typical, you have a crush on somebody and you write a song. It's kind of embarrassing. It's really embarrassing. I had a crush on this boy in school, and I wrote a song because I didn't have the confidence to talk to him at that time, so I just wrote a song.
Did you ever sing that song to him?
I kind of did, but I didn't. I remember approaching that, and I had to kind of navigate that it wasn't really my feelings. It was just something I was sharing, something that I wrote, so I wouldn't get rejected too hard. So I just worked around that.
Hold on. Did mom and dad hear? Did mom and dad hear the song? And most importantly, did they know who or what it was about?
No, absolutely not. No.
West Indian parents don't play. I mean,
they don't.
I can imagine like her Trinidadian dad, like, oh gosh, this girl, this foolish for this boy. We're going on.
Right. Listen, Chevy parents, they don't play. You don't need to be focusing on no boy. You need to put your head in the books. That's what they said. Put your head in the books.
Probably you don't make all the boy get a beating too if your daddy did even more. I have had, you know what I mean? No, but it
would have been bad. It would have been bad. I couldn't let that one out.
So I mean, obviously, even though they didn't hear that particular song, it was something that jolted them to rise to the occasion and help you on your journey. So what was it that captured their attention? I mean, obviously, if you're singing on a choir, that's an abundance of people singing together. So like what gave them the notion that, this is what she wants to do, we're going to support her? You know what I mean? Like how, without even letting them hear your first song, did you get them to support you on your journey?
Yeah, well, it was pretty simple. My father had a love for music. His family had a love for music. His father in particular had a love for music and was a musician. And that's actually how my father came to America. He was a touring musician for a well-known artist. And so at a young age, hearing him play jazz and all these different things on the piano, I would just be like a baby, a little kid, just taking it all in and trying to do the runs that he was doing on the piano. And at the age of 3, I had my first church solo. So they heard me sing in church, and that's and it's 3 years old, and it's recorded. 3 years old, 6 years old. So I did a few solos at church, and also my brother and I used to sing at church. So them seeing me like really, really push to sing on my own, or even sing with my brother, or sing with the choir, and just sing at home, sing it. Listen, I would annoy them singing in every car ride, just everything that was on the radio. I'm singing. And so they realized that, okay, this is really something that she enjoys. This is a gift, And I'm so thankful that they saw that.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So this particular album
Hold
that
on, hold on. She was being modest when she mentioned 9 years old.
yeah,
Because now
exactly, exactly.
we're all the way back to 3 years old.
Yeah.
No, bro,
Listen,
bro. I already let the cat out the bag when I
it
said.
was.
I let the cat out the bag when I said she was singing as soon as she came out of her mouth.
Mm.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I let
yeah.
the cat out the bag. You know what I mean?
But
So
it was simple singing it. But like I remember the song was Lord, I'm available to you, and then it was the Whitney Houston version of Jesus Loves Me.
wow.
So and Whitney Houston was my idol back in those days. I was just like, oh my gosh, every song of hers, I gotta sing doing this in the mirror.
Right,
Do
right.
like everything she does, I'm emulating her. So yeah, absolutely.
So what part of the world did this illustrious career of yours begin?
Right here in New York City.
The Mecca.
Right here.
The
The
Mecca.
Mecca, the Big Apple.
Yeah,
The
man.
Big Apple.
I mean, and although it's the Mecca, for most, what was
Hmm.
it like, growing up in such an abundance of talent, you know what I mean, and trying to like vie for your spot because even though we know you have another interview coming up, we know that you kind of had even some success, you know what I mean, that through some of the music that you put out. So like, what was it like from that point when you embarked on doing this album at 12 years old to the journey
Hmm.
of you becoming recognized and then ultimately like starting your own label? Like, what was that journey like?
So that journey is still ongoing because my career as an artist has taken on many forms. I've grown throughout that whole process from me doing my 12-year-old album that was released at 15, doing gospel under a different name, and then figuring out what I wanted to sing about. Because as you get older, you mature and your life experiences grow with you. So, of course, not every song is going to be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, because you're going to go through some ups and downs because that's the reality of life. So, with that being said, I just navigated musically the way my life was going. So, like the songs that you hear now, the videos that you've seen, Two Worlds Remember, Six Ignited, Catch This Wine, Deep End, the songs that are very thought provoking is because I've reached a stage in my life where I've experienced enough things that I can be that vulnerable musically speaking, because in my earlier years, from the gospel to the inspirational music to early like Disney pop, I want to call it, I was being very safe. Sometimes you don't want to sing about certain things. You don't want to use profanity in your music, especially because not necessarily that you want to cater to a specific market, but you kind of want to just be safe on the fence. Because who wants to hear a 16-year-old talking about uh, shaking booty this, shaking booty that, or whatever the case may be, like something that is too grown for their 16-year-old age. So I was singing music that was, I guess, how do you explain it? Age appropriate. That's what I'll say. Age appropriate.
Right, right.
Yeah, but I'm just still going up the ladder. I'm still growing. My catalog, my music catalog is still growing. My writing, my recording. I have more music that I want to share with my fans who have been very patient, very supportive, very loyal, and I'm so thankful for them because for a while now I keep saying I'm gonna drop the album. I've teased them with some new songs that I'm gonna be releasing, and life happened. This pandemic happened. I was doing shows. It's just so many things that happened that delay the process, but there's more great things coming and I'm happy to share them.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Um,
Thank you.
Before you started your own label,
Hmm.
were you signed to another label?
No. So, right. So, the reason why I started my own label is because I went to college, I graduated, I studied arts with my bachelor's degree in theatrical arts. And just during that time, I networked with a lot of different majors, people that were in music business, people that were audio engineering, and just learning more about the music business as a whole. Many people, they see artists and they say, oh my gosh, I just want to sing, I just want to make music, but they don't understand the business behind the industry. And that's how a lot of people sign terrible deals, or they're stuck in loopholes, or they get shelved when they get signed to a major label. So me learning that part of the business, I found that it was necessary for me to protect myself as a brand, protect myself as an artist, protect my music and all of that, and which is why 5 Bars Records came to be.
Wow.
I mean,
Mad.
that's what I said, to for you to have like a business mind so early out, and and be so poised and focused, that speaks volumes. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk a little bit about, all right. So this first album, if I'm not mistaken, without you telling us, I think I heard you say that it was a gospel album. The very first one.
Yes.
So what was the reception like from your first effort at that very young age?
The reception was really positive, I will say, because gospel is my roots. I'm rooted in the church, still am, and that's where I developed my singing abilities, to be honest. Singing every weekend. Gospel music is very taxing on the voice. So there's some people that scream, and there's some people that sing. So for the singers, I just really, really learned how to strengthen my vocal abilities. So yeah, with the first album, it was well received. I did a lot of mini touring with it, internationally, in the tri-state, statewide area, and it was great. And then I reached a point where, of course, I'm entering college and I wanted to transition musically. So I moved into inspirational, and then I moved into pop, and then I moved into world, and then more R&B. So yeah, it was a nice, I guess, stepping stool
Right.
for the next music stages.
So, would you say that, with that being received well, with you touring and doing things of that nature, would you say that your first major impact with any music that you done was via two worlds? Was that like one of your
Yeah.
biggest?
Yeah, because see, the thing is, with my gospel album, it was called Lord Just Me and You, and it was great. I had some great songs, and like I said, I did do some touring with that, but it only catered to a specific genre of people and music. It wasn't getting well received in the other genres. Like the kids my age was like, why are you doing a gospel album?
Yeah.
It wasn't relating to the young folks of my age, or like in school. So yeah, I was doing my thing, but I was still this little girl singing about greater experiences, which is nice because there are some people who are well past their years, but it just wasn't really hitting home the way it needed to. So when I crossed over, that's when I started to get more recognition of people my age and the younger, because they can listen to the music and relate to the music. Like Two Worlds especially, I have grannies talking about it brings them back to times when they were getting married or something like that, or even people my age, like they're in relationships and it reminds them of a great time that they had dating into their solid relationship. It just, or little teenagers figuring out themselves, like it just hits differently.
Right.
It hits differently. Yeah, because not everyone loves gospel. Not everyone loves the whole church religion, and that's them. So I do understand that. But when you cross over to like mainstream music, you reach a broader audience, and that's what Two Worlds, remember, had done for
Yeah,
me.
man. True. A lot of artists have taken that approach. Sam Cooke being one of the earlier ones, and one of the more influential ones as well. You know what I mean? Started out with
Absolutely.
the soul stirrers, and then went off into making that transition into what I guess they would call secular music. I'm not still sure if they refer to it as such right now. You know what I mean? Because it's like, music to me is so infused right now. I mean, you got reggae, and reggae is not necessarily reggae because it has a little rap and R&B, and everything is just kind of like meshed together. So it's like
Right.
music to me has become. I mean, it's always been a way of communication. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But to me, it's become so much bigger than just a genre or any specific genre for that matter. You know what I mean? And it's always and will forever will be a universal language that has
Exactly.
the ability to separate or bring people together. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how you use it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly. Well said. And that's exactly what my song Two Worlds, Remember, Deep End, like those were the core hitting songs for me. Like it really opened up many doors for me. And the music video on a whole was like, oh my gosh, the reception is still ongoing, and I'm just so grateful for that because I had people reach out to me and say, wow, that song just really really hits me. Like you really poured everything out there, and to be honest, I remember recording the song, writing the song, and just it was a whole different stem of things going on in the studio when I was developing this song. And I had told the producer, I just scratch everything. I just want a moment to just sing from the heart, and we could build the music after. This was the first time I took that kind of approach where I didn't just say, all right, here's the music. Let's try and work with what we have on the music. This time I was like, no, we're gonna work with the vocals that I have in here and in here and out here. We're gonna do that and formulate the music that way. And it was a beautiful creation.
How did the idea for the song came about?
It came from a personal experience of mine, and it was that turning point for me where I said, you know what, I'm going to stop being safe and I'm going to speak from my experiences, because sometimes I was struggling with being a vulnerable artist. I kind of wanted to keep things on the surface because I didn't want to do music where people's like, oh my gosh, she's all in her feelings, or she's man bashing, or oh my gosh, she's emotional. There's sometimes when you do some hard hitting songs, people think that, oh my gosh, this person is upset. This person is always sad. Like they talk about Adele and they say they can't listen to a whole album of Adele. She's great, but her music kind of is sometimes sad. And if you're in a sad emotional state, then yeah, that's great. But if you want to be happy, you're like, okay, now I need something else to pick it up. So it was a turning point for me where I said, you know what? I'm going to share bits and pieces of me within my music starting today. And of course, I'll have the upbeat parts because the Two Worlds EP has a mixture. It has It's a Vibe, it has Deep End, it has Two Worlds, it has Six Ignited. So it's not all sad music. It's not all thought-provoking. Like some things are just upbeat and you could dance. But that's where I decided to open up my heart musically.
Your gospel fans and your support system, your internal support system, how how did they react to your transition?
Whew, that is a okay. That is a question. All right, so let me try and be politically correct. No, I'm joking. Okay, so to be honest, there were some people that were like supportive, and I want to acknowledge those people because not everybody say, oh my gosh, she's singing worldly music and it's the devil. Not everybody has that mindset. So one thing about the church is that when you really really study your Bible, you realize that you can be of ministry outside of the church. You can be of more ministry outside of the church sometimes because the mass is bigger. Everybody that's in the church is already saved most of the times. So you need to be outside, and sometimes you're the only God people see. You're the only religion people see. You're the only person that can minister to them just in a different manner. So there were people who were supportive, like I said, and then there were people who were not so supportive and tried to convince my family and myself that it wasn't the right direction for me. But thankfully, my parents said, you know what? We're not going to have that kind of talk influence what you truly want to do in life. So here I am today doing what I want to do in life without the influence of anyone else.
It's nothing more motivational than a naysayer. You know what I mean? I that's one of my driving forces. I mean, it's always good to have a support system and people that are like you can do anything you want to do, but for somebody to tell me that I can't do something, it just puts a fire under me like no other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and the thing is, like, it depends what age you are when people tell you that you can or you can't do something. Because, to be honest, when I was younger and I started to transition, because even when I did the gospel album, I was still singing in like the Cotton Club. I was singing at the Sugar Bar. I was singing songs, and I was getting my skills up doing shows and things like that. So even then, they were like, but you have a gospel album. What are you doing? You're out here. You're land and water at the same time. But it became hurtful because as a child, I'm like, well, why don't they like that? I just love music and singing, and I just want to do this in the arts. I didn't understand then, but as I got older, I said, you know what? You can't let people influence the direction of your life, because then you will be a people pleaser.
Yeah.
And you'll never be satisfied in life. You'll never be happy because you'll be so worried thinking and trying to please what these people are saying that you should do in life.
Exactly.
And you should never, ever, ever, if I could tell somebody today, like, you should never, ever, ever allow someone to switch the gears that you have for your life. Whatever purpose and goals that you set up for your life, continue to do that. Don't let people turn you away from that. Yeah.
That is sound advice. I mean,
man.
and
Good.
That's to show you how much of a professional she is, because generally that's a question that we actually pose to, like if you tell a young artist, and you know what I mean. I don't know if it's because of the time constraint, or you know what I mean, or just that's her savvy of being able to kind of like take control of the interview, and you know what I
That's why
mean,
I
like
said we might not have to talk too much.
yeah, seriously. I mean, so obviously, the last thing that we want to talk about before you get out of here, obviously, we want to tell people where they can find you, how they can support you, But before we get into that, let's talk about this whole Jada Kingdom collaboration. What was that about? I mean, if you looked at where your career started from, and just even your persona, you know what I mean? Like even right now, so poised and so eloquent, you know what I mean, and how you articulate yourself very well, you know what I mean? Like, not to say like Jada is a bad girl. You know that mama every day. Some sitting with Jada talking a fear thing them, You know what I mean? Like you gotta be having a kid like, hold on. So like, with there being such a wide variety of, so many artists, that you could have chosen, to do this bad song with, you know what I mean? Like it wicked, you know what I mean? Bad as in good.
Thank you.
Like what was the whole motivation behind, the collaboration? Yeah.
So again, I just want to shout out Jada. Thank you again for putting your musical spin on the song. The song was originally just Catch Dis Whine, the original song, right? And my team had reached out to her team, and she really loved the original version. And that's how the remix started. We had a phone conversation. We went back and forth about, of course, because I'm a clean artist, like keep it cute. Keep it cute. We ain't gonna be too bad, Let's keep it a little kid friendly, teenage friendly, granny friendly, So we had a whole creative conversation, and she was so willing to taking what I said musically, because sometimes you don't want to ruin someone's creative vision, because when I go in the studio, I don't like nobody telling me that, okay, we need you to do this. Like, no, this song is about me and my experiences, and in order for me to be authentic, we need to create from me and my experiences. So I don't really like, yes, I'll take input and things like that from producers and co-writers, but I don't want to go in there restricted. So I kept that in mind, that I don't like feeling restricted creatively. So I just told her, like, just be free, do you, but keep it clean and cute.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
and she did that.
even though, you know what I mean, like it was like you're talking about Jada over here now, and then he was like, well, Jada, when I'm singing my part, I was really talking about communion wine. So like, just keep that in mind.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Listen, but she the thing is, she has such a sweet side. Like I mean, you could see that too.
Yeah.
But in order for the collaboration to work, I was like, listen, we gotta be real to each other,
Right.
So yeah, she was so willing, and she was like, yeah, no problem. And she did her part in a couple days, to be honest. She was very fast on the draw. It wasn't like a whole month span, 2 month span. No, we spoke creatively, the team spoke, and she was like, okay, well, let me get to the studio right now and lay this down. And a couple days, she did her thing, and we went back and forth with the producers of getting the right fusion, because as you can see, the song is a fusion, that the beat itself is a fusion mix of different things. So yeah, we just mixed it all together, and the beautiful Catch This Whine remix came about.
That's pretty dope. I mean, it's amazing. She's doing her thing right now, and you're doing your thing, obviously. And it was just such a pleasure to have you here. I mean, we know that you have other engagements, scheduled. Sorry that we couldn't talk to you longer, but once you forward to our platform, you become a part of our family. I mean, so
absolutely,
the world may know you as Sayonne, but we have to add a settings on to the back of that. I mean, so if you want to be like be cute with and be like FS, that's cool, but we'll refer to you as Sayonne settings. I mean, and we'll wave the banner high for you, and hopefully you'll do the same for this platform.
Absolutely.
As we embark on this journey together, because it's truly a spiritual journey. And
we're not done with her yet.
No, then no. She have to cut, She have to cut.
Part two.
Yeah, part few. That's part few. Because obviously
there's some things we're not touched yet.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's a lot of things.
I'm ready for part two. You
heard that, people, right from this young lady's mouth. You know what I mean? This is not just coming from us. We're not bullying anybody, and she obviously took control of the started singing when I was 3, and then I was we didn't even hear anything about the whole Broadway vibe.
Oh, listen, part two. We got part 2 coming.
And you're co-hosting of your shows and all those other things.
Right.
Touch on
There's so many things that we could tap into. So definitely invite me back. I am ready. I will be back. And
it was
soon.
It was a pleasure having you. But in the meantime, with that little short intermission between our next encounter, where can the people find you? Where can they find your music?
Yes. Okay. So overall settings family, you guys can check me out on my website, www.iamsayonne.com. That's iamsayonne.com. iamsayonne.com. You'll see all my work, my bio, past music videos, and all the things that I'm up to. Upcoming events, all of those things. You can tap in with me on social media at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all at I Am Sayonne, IAMSAYONNE. Again, that's Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And of course, as you guys already saw some of my music videos, you saw Hot Sauce, you saw Two Worlds, you saw Six Ignited, and more to come. You can all see that on YouTube at Sayonne, SAYONNE.
And on the outro, Sayonne, all I'm going to ask you to do, which is what I've never had the opportunity to ask any artist to do, but since your roots were initially the gospel, I would like you to just bless this platform with your beautiful voice, with any gospel rendition that you like on the outro.
All right, on the outro, let's see. Trying to think of a song that's simplistic. Oh, I'll do this one. I just can't give up now. I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I've started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, and I don't believe he's brought me this far to lead me. Woo!
Thank you.
Thank you.
And may God bless you on your journey. And like I said, it was amazing. And and we look forward to talking to you again. And bless up yourself. Dear Mama,
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
High-end settings, people. Put some respect on our name.
Yeah.
SS. All right, bless up.
Thank you so much for everybody tuning in and overall settings. I can't wait for part 2. I'll be back. All right.
I'm used to hearing it's a matter of time before anything I'm up before is sure to be mine. And I do believe it and know I get to receive it as I keep these words in my mind each and every time. Just prepare for it. Just prepare for it. Who knows it could happen tonight and it could happen to knows. But who really knows? Who knows? But who really knows? Death sneaks upon you like a thief in the night. Since we're not sure if it's a robber, we gotta live right, though we might get distracted by the things in our sight. We can't go blindly when we enter the light. Before we enter the light, just prepare for it. Just prepare for it. Who knows it could happen tonight and it could happen to knows. But who really knows? Who knows? But who really knows?